Henry, you look fuming, mate.
Yeah, sack him. Sack him. We are not improving. I am literally, my heart, I don't want to get you demonetized, but I want to have one almighty rant because we have not got a fucking clue. And just not got a clue. He just stands there. Just who we are, mate. Just who we are. Just who we are. Arteta's giving it all these little tactical directions, close it down, open it up, doing the DJ decks. He has not got a clue, mate. And I'm telling you that now. 4 clean sheets in 37 games. 4. We have not beaten a top 6 side since a year ago. A year ago. We've signed 65 million Dominic Solanke. And what do? We create absolutely no chances. Our World Cup winner, 2-time Copa America winner defender, gets a little nudge in the back. Argentina, Brazil, the biggest rivalry in South America. And Gabriel, who's got 15 Premier League goals, gets a free fucking header. It's an absolute joke. It's a joke. I tell you now, we will get spanked by Coventry. We've got absolutely zero tactical brain. Arteta rocks up. Let's be honest, they weren't even good. But there's a blueprint out there. And now to beat Tottenham, you just got to sit back. If you've got anyone who can put a header in, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. We haven't got a clue, mate. Absolute fucking joke. Honestly, it's a disgrace. Sack him. People are going to say, you're being overreactionary. No, it's not. They've just beat us 3 times on our own patch for the first time in nearly 50 years. They weren't even good today. Tell me who was good. Saka got pocketed by your doggy. Van de Ven dealt with Havertz. Who was good in that Arsenal team? There was no one good. But Arteta tactically outclassed our manager for the 3rd time in a row. And we've got Man United. We know what he does whenever he's about to get the sack. He pulls a rabbit out of the hat. He's useless. No one can say about, let's blame this on Daniel Levy. £400 million he's had to spend. We brought in Johnson. He's absolutely useless. We brought in Solanke. We don't create no chances. Son's our captain. Put the team on your back. We don't run at our man. 1 year he come on the pitch. He's 17 years of age, right? 17. He looks absolutely lightning above our midfield. We've got James Maddison. You can now see why Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and City didn't want to sign this guy. You can see why Newcastle didn't want to sign this guy. We have not got a clue. Not got a clue. And honestly, when Van de Ven's hamstring goes, because it will go, because it's made of glass, we are fucked. Because if he weren't playing there today, I tell you, that would have been 3 or 4-0. And that's no Rice. That's no Odegaard. So what's the excuse going to be now? What's the excuse going to be now? Arsenal didn't even have a playmaker on the pitch. Saka didn't turn up. None of that Arsenal team turned up. But that's the scary thing about it now. Arsenal don't have to be at their best. This isn't an oh my God. This is I'm fuming moment. They don't have to be at their best now to beat us. They don't have to turn up now to beat us. And now, the big question mark I've got for Ange. If people have got a blueprint to beat you, how do you counteract that blueprint? Because we've just seen the same game plan 2 games in a row against Newcastle and Arsenal. We had all the ball. We had all the chances. David Raya could lay there with a towel on that goal line.
No cups.
Yeah. We got all these. Oh, mate. Oh, wow. I'm going to smash.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone got the joke then. We got fire. We got water. We got tea bags. We got no cups.
that can't fly with me, Toe. That can't fly with me. The line is almighty wisdom.
The only positive from that game is how good of a defender Van de Ven is. He's mustard.
I hear you on that, Jacob. Obviously, do you echo a lot of what Henry's saying here, or do you feel that maybe it's a little bit reactionary and over the top?
I mean, I agree with the anger. I was very angry at the full whistle. I don't think there's any Spurs fan in the world that wasn't angry at that final whistle. However, there are some parts I do disagree with. You know, firstly, the first thing he said, which was Ainge or sack him, I think is what he said. Sack him and then what? Sack him and then we go get another Jose, the guy who can win a trophy. We go get Jose in his prime and Antonio Conte. It all fails. So what is the real end goal here? Is it to build on something that is going to struggle, or is it to continue to chop and change and hope that we can chase the glory that we once were like very close to but didn't even achieve? And to me, it's just feels like a fruitless battle where you just say, okay, I'll put it this way. It feels like we're trying to diagnose a symptom rather than the actual problem. We're saying, oh, I have a headache. Okay, so you're taking headache pain pills, and you keep doing it over and over. Well, eventually your liver's going to give out. But the actual problem was you have a cavity. Now it's a root canal, and that's why you've been getting a headache. So it's like, rather than fixing the issue that we've had for years and years and years, we just treat the symptoms of it. And Ainge will probably be victim of it. I'm not very happy with him as well. We didn't make changes until we conceded a goal. Now the goal conceding is a whole different story. Like, again, Romero, everyone's upset with him about it. Obviously, I agree with the sentiment that you get pushed in the back, you got to be stronger than that, in my opinion. You can't go up, you can't get pushed around like that. You got to be the strong man in the box, and you got little brother, and he's gonna have to hold that, and that's what it is. But that's not Ainge's fault that he got bodied like that. Blaming Ainge and then somehow wrapping in Van de Veen's hamstring, and it just seems a little doomsday, a little Chicken Little, like the sky's falling around us, and it's really not. It's a match in which you would expect someone who's challenging for the title, you would expect them to come in there and dominate us, and they didn't. They looked like crap, and we didn't capitalize on it. So it is unfortunate, because this is probably the weakest version of Arsenal we'll see this year, and we didn't do our bit to have our say in their title run. We allowed them to come to our house and take 3 points again. So I understand Henry being pissed. I'm equally as mad. I just, I did go to the other room, hug my kids, kiss my wife, and say, I am grateful for the life I live. And then I come back to it and say, okay, well, now let me look at Tottenham again, right? All right. Well, it was a shambles. It was all toothless, gutless. I mean, we say this every week. I say it every week. We do nothing with the ball in the final third. We are the worst possession team in the final third. We just do the horseshoe Hotspur, and then we start running out of ideas. Inevitably turns it over, puts us in a bad position. And I agree with, I don't know who said it. I can't remember who I was listening to, but they said something about Vicario that every corner is like a PK as far as how we feel, how it looks. And I agree to an extent. It's bad. But again, Ryan Mason has survived every single manager. And guess what Ryan Mason manages? Set pieces. The mole is there. He is the mole, and everyone refuses to believe it. But we'll sack Ainge. We'll get Ryan Mason for 6 months, and then everyone will say, oh, let's look at whatever skinny jeans wearing manager is the hot topic of the month. That's what we're going to do, because that's what Tottenham fans want. They complain, then they get what they want, then they complain about what they got. And for me, I'm just sitting back like, okay, whatever at this point. Am I going to defend Ainge for today? Hell no. That was atrocious. Why are you starting Brennan Johnson? But again, all the problems that are indicative of this club is not Ainge's fault. But starting Brennan Johnson is Ainge's fault. So I don't know. I'm somewhere left in the middle. I'm pissed. I'm upset, but I'm not thinking it's Ainge's fault. I'm not saying sack Ainge. I don't think that today's result is somehow an indicator of Mickey Van de Veen's longevity as far as remaining healthy. I don't think today's an indication of it. Romero got bodied on one set piece. Outside of that, I thought he was imperfect, or that's not the right word. I woke up at 4 a.m. to do a bunch of streaming today. And that's what Tottenham does to me. I wake up at absurd hours, and then I get abused, and then I come around and I just say, you know what? I'll accept the abuse, because I prop these players up. I prop Romero up. I prop Son up.
Cootie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. I fucking love Cootie Romero. He's the fucking GOAT, and I hope you know.
That was a great day, because we scored. We scored when I sang that to shout out Staffy, the good friend that if anyone's friends with Staffy, don't ever send him a voice note and think that it's safe, because then you end up with that. But look, he got bodied. He got dunked on by Gabriel. There's no walking away from that. Sometimes when you're the guy getting posterized, you're going to be on people's walls and people will point to it, and he's going to have to hold that. And again, every goal that we've conceded, he's in some way or shape or form, people want to attribute blame to him, and that's fine if they do. Today, I absolutely give him that blame. But then the next blame will go to Vicario after that. But again, it starts with Romero. You don't get pushed, you don't get bodied, you don't concede that goal. But again, I feel Henry's frustration and anger as well. Because you think something, you start to believe like, okay, we are doing things a little bit different, and then it's the same thing. It's like your homeboy who keeps going back to the girl that cheated on him, and he's like, she's changed, and I'm that dude right now. She's changed oh yeah, she's changed though, she's changed. You know what,
we've got a cultural reference for that in the UK. It's the Alfie Moon Kat Slater effect. So we've got a big soap over here, and Kate Slater, over 20 years, she kept on cheating on her husband Alfie Moon, but they end up back together, and then she always cheats with somebody else. And I get that feeling. It really does exist.
Yeah,
it does.
That's me. I thought she changed, but she didn't.